Have you guys ever had a starter in your car go and you kind of can't find a replacement for it or don't know what to do? Well, I think I might have a solution for you, or at least help you guide you guys what to get and what to look for getting a starter. So recently I went to go start my 1959 Buick Electra and the starter just died. I was starting it for a while and it was cranking for a long time, and well, it just started to go and like slow down completely to finally stop. So later in the day, pulled it and kind of realized, oh, it already had a converted starter to a Chevy. What I didn't know at that time, I just looked at it and I went, oh, that looks like a Chevy mini starter. So the mini starters kind of like, I already pulled it apart, but they kind of look like this. They have the little starter. Oh, I guess it's right here. The little starter here, and then the solenoid, which is, if I put this together, oops, they go like this. Kind of looks like that, and then that's the base, and then you have an adapter. So I took it apart, kind of looked at it, figured out that they're all the same, they just use different adapters. So taking it apart, I realized, okay, here's the motor that is, I figured out it's a Denso motor. They're used in Toyotas, Plymouths, all the Chevys, Pontiacs, a lot of vehicles, and you can get them for like, if you find the right application for them, you can get them as low as $60, $50 brand new on Rock Auto. This one I didn't know at the time, so I just went and got it here because it was one of the cheaper routes. But for you guys in the States and all the rest of the world, like, you get it. I think I was reading the high torque one just out of the blue is like a mid 90s Dodge Dakota with the 318 or the 360 engine. And they're a high torque mini starter, and you just gonna have to pull off the cap and put it together and stuff. So I'm gonna show you what's involved in the middle part here. I'm gonna put it back together, and then we'll just show you guys how easy it is to swap the fronts out. Okay, so here's the starter pretty much out of the box. This isn't completely tight, but this is what it looks like. So you have your starter solenoids. This is a solenoid that actually pushes this in, and this like that, and that's what engages into your flex plate, which then starts the motor. Here's your actual motor itself, and here's your contacts. This actuates the solenoid, so that would go to your starter switch or your ignition switch. This will go to the power, because that needs the power to go straight into here, and then that, I'm assuming, goes straight through there or something, and then that powers the actual motor itself. So that's kind of the basics on how these work, and it's just a motor with a gear, and then that gear acts as a gear reduction, which then you get the torque on such a small motor instead of this big massive motor that's usually bigger than this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take this apart and show you guys what to do. Okay, so that just comes off. It's two Torx. I think it's a T25. So don't need that. That's kind of garbage now. Then we'll pull off these. These should be just pretty snug. I didn't tighten them just as I was putting it back together to pull apart for you guys, because I was like, oh, I should make a video on this. So pull that apart there. And then these are just 8mm bolts. Okay. So that like that. So what you're gonna want to actually do is flip this upside down and pull this off. There's gonna be a ball in here. That spring. See, there's a ball. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, I'll take this one out. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there is a ball in there. And that ball touches this solenoid right here, which the spring stays on. And that's what actually pushes this out. Like you can see that. That's what pushes that out. So this portion here, oh, there's the ball. The ball came out now. See, it's a little ball bearing. This portion here, we could technically use, but we're not going to use it just because we have this set up here. So this is the actual adapter to the Buick, where this one fits probably a lot of things, but this one, for this application itself, is made for the LS. So what you could do, I guess I could do, is press this on more, take out that clip. You see that clip there? And put this one on here. They're the same teeth. But this all looks good. All these bearings, I'm going to clean them up and re-grease them or put lithium grease on them. And this one should be fine. And then I'll just use this as a spare. So why else I mentioned, so this right here is your gear reduction. So you have this small 9-tooth gear right here. And then that goes to this gear, which then goes to this big gear. So it reduces it quite a bit. When you pull this out, oh, man. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's why I did it upside down. But you have these 5 bearings. And you have this holder right here that now I have to clean. That goes onto the center shaft, which on this one, it came out, which is just a shaft right here. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to put this shaft in here, like that. And then, because I can't pull this one out, because this one's pressed in on this one, where this one is not. And, ooh, I'm gonna have to take that out and put this one in, because that's a very tight fit there. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that space looks about the same. Weird. Huh. Well, what I could do, I could just... No, I can't. That's that. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to pull this off here. And I'm going to press that out. Or pull that out somehow. Huh. Is this the same both sides? Yep. Huh. That's not good. Okay, I'm just going to tap that out. I'm just going to make sure these bearings are the same. They look the same. Yeah, that's a tight fit, so. Okay. I wonder if this adapter will just fit on there. I Sharpied where it will go, so. I mean, technically it would. If this was shaved down, this would fit. You can kind of see the hole. So I think what these guys do is they take this and they take this, they just put this in the lathe or the machine this down, and then you end up with this piece here, which then this fits on. So I have to figure out how to take this piece out now, the bushing. Originally, I was just going to swap the motor itself, but then I was like, oh, this looks like it'll fit. And well, now we're here. So what I did, I just grabbed a socket and I'm just going to hit this pin out like that. And then we know that this probably won't fit in there because it's going to be too big. So that means this one. Well, I guess with those around there, that's kind of what does it. Oh, weird. So that fits there. So I guess this shaft is actually worn out. Okay, that fits there. Oh, that fits there loose too. Oh, interesting. So I guess this shaft is actually just undersized from factory. So what I'm gonna do, by press I mean vise. So almost there. It's just aluminum, so it will press nicely. Okay, that bottomed out. So now we know that has to be straight. That's in there because that hole is going to be straight. So it kind of has nowhere else to go. And now that that's in there, we're going to clean this up a little bit. Clean that out. I'm going to go see if I got some lithium grease. And let's put some in here. So, got some lithium grease. So I'm just going to put this on. Put this on these little bearings here. You got one. Make sure they're clean. Give them a quick little wipe. Put some on the shaft here. Spread it all around. Some in there. So now this goes like that, around there, like that. That grease stays there. Put a little more there. Then we'll take this gear. Add some in there. Get that all lubed up. That goes there. Ooh, that's nice and solid. I'm gonna grease up these bearings a little bit. This one is also good, but I'm gonna put that in there like that. Just give it a little bit of life, you know? Because that will move and that will go in there. So here we go. So this one now, it's gonna go in there. Gotta make sure it's in there square. Oh, this has to go in first. Oh no. So this has that little lip there, which right there. So you actually can't install this first. So I'm gonna pull that off. I'm gonna put this in. And then we put this in. So now that holds that in. Right there, like that. I'm gonna put a bunch of grease in there. And now that will get it as it needs. A bit on that side. Well, there we go. Not too much, but that's good. So now that this is all together, what we're gonna do is remember the ball. The ball's already inside there, so that's good. I wish that ball would fall out, but it won't, because I would put the new ball in. Huh, I wonder if I should try take it out, because that ball is kind of, it's pretty screwed up. I don't even know how I'd get that out. Oh, there we go. So we got that ball out. It didn't need to come out, but I just figured might as well. Put the new one in. Grease it up. Put it in. And now we have a new ball. There's the spring. Make sure you put the spring on there. Now we'll put the front back together. Make sure it goes in all the way. Now this goes back there. It didn't sound like that before. I wonder what's up. Oh, maybe this has to be down. on the downside. There we go. So this right here just moves up and down. You just want to make sure it's down. See, there's a space there now. I don't know why, but that's what it is. So we have the ball in there. We have the spring. Make sure those two. Now what we will do is we will set this like this and push together. Just like that. Now we will put these screws in. Line up our holes, the 3 holes right there. And this one in here. Oh no. So there we have that. Now, I didn't notice this, well Blake did. This is actually clocked. See how the bolt holes don't go in? So I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take this one off the old starter and put it onto the new starter. So I'm gonna undo these 2 back bolts and these ones and kind of take a look. Okay, well, let's take apart the the bad one first. The one that I thought wasn't going to be an issue, like, look at that one. That one I thought was going to be the issue, but that one's being the issue. Oh, did I get it? Oh, I got it. Why couldn't they put Robertson screws in here? Okay. Look at that. So I think, yeah, that's just like a rear cap that comes off. Man, that's so dirty inside. So yucky. Where's the lid for this? So yeah, the problem that happened with this is you can see right here, this wire is supposed to be connected to there. So I could probably just solder that wire back on there and this starter will work. but we're not gonna do that. Oops. It's pretty beat. I don't exactly know how these things work, but the brushes are like, look all right. It's just the connector right there. So I might clean this one up at some point, solder these back on, or just buy some new brushes. But in reality, I don't want to do that. Anyways, that doesn't matter. That could go bye-bye. So let's pull this off right now. Right here. The reason for not just going to buy a normal starter is I have an ST400 in my car, which is on a 64.5 Riviera, which is pretty much a turbo 400 prototype that they used on the bigger cars back then. And it's just not like a normal starter. I was just gonna get the starter rebuilt, and then I seen that it was a small starter, and I was like, I think I know I can make these work. And so this is just a cheaper option. So now I'm gonna pull these two screws out. Wow, look at that. So yeah, so what it is on this is this will go like there. Oh, these are the same covers. So look at that. They're just clocked wrong. So both of these are actually a bit different, but that's actually the wrong way. So I need it like right there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill a hole, use a grinder, and modify this lid to fit. And then what I'm gonna do is, whatchamacallit, I'll just take some 2-port epoxy or something, I'll seal this, and we'll be good. I'll probably end up using this one because it's new and for this, since I have to cut it up anyways. So how I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna put this bolt in right here and put this bolt in here. I might have to do some chopping just for right here, as this gasket is a bit thick. So I'm just gonna get my knife here and pull that like that. Then that will clearance for this right here. Ooh, we have to do a little shaving. These housings are a bit different. So what's happening right now is when I try to put this bolt in, it's hitting there. So I just got to shave that just a little bit. So I'm just going to put the rag over this. There's an O-ring in there. I'm just going to shave this down a bit. So just clearanced it a bit there, so we'll put this back on. Just a few threads, nothing crazy. I just want to line it so then we can mark out properly. And now that's clearanced for there. So now what we will do is just mark the center line of where it has to go there, right there. And then we'll just go find a drill bit that is the same as the other one, and we will drill it. So that can just stay there. I guess I should show you. This is what the inside is supposed to be like. See how that is? See how nice and shiny that is? So pretty. I think this is probably the right drill bit. Look at that. So yeah, we're just gonna cut it there. Okay. There's that hole. And then next, we're just gonna grab the grinder. Or you know what, we got the Sawzall here. Let's just use the Sawzall. We're gonna Sawzall through here. Okay. So now that that's there, that's gonna be too big. And look at that. Good as new. So just wipe it out. Make sure it fits. Yeah. Now we just have to figure out how to seal that. So what I'm gonna do is I picked up an old lid from a paint can. I'm just gonna chop a strip out of it. Like that. It's gonna cut it straight. And the reason for this is just so it's the same. Look at that. It's a perfect diameter. So I'm just gonna trim this down. That goes there like that. Oop. I'm just gonna take some RTV it on, and we're golden. And there we go. Now that's sealed. So let's put this back on. Okay, the top I can only turn so much. I don't know. I wonder if it's just on the wrong. I wonder if this way would have been better. We have a dilemma here. this top here, I think is different, which we could transfer everything, but I just didn't know. Huh. I might just have to put this top, clean it and everything. Okay, I think I figured it out. I'm gonna have to struggle doing this first though, because I'm a dum-dum and I pulled it out by accident. Okay, so what I have to do right now is just all four brushes, I just need to like push out at the same time. I'm sure you guys are gonna say, oh, if you would have done it this way, you could do it that way, which I'll learn from the comments afterwards. But until then, I'm gonna struggle doing that. Okay, so now that that's like that, man, so this whole time, I did not know this. So this motor has two clock positions. There's one here, one 180. I don't want to pull this off again so you can see, but there's a notch. It only goes one way or the other way. I didn't know that until I just took it all apart, but you guys don't have to make the same mistake I did. So that piece that I just put in, that is all gooey now, where we just cut for and ground for, you don't have to do that. But we made that piece, so we have to cover up the old hole, the new hole that we just cut out. So what we're gonna do is use the goop again, put it around, put that on there like that, and then I feel so dumb. Now the old original hole with this clocked, we just install this here, which it should install like that. Has to, oh, it's not perfect actually. I wonder if the old one, now this one will be perfect. Ooh, yeah, now this one's perfect. Okay, the old lid, if you guys are doing the same thing that I'm doing, you guys are also gonna have the old lid and stuff. This one's actually clocked a bit differently, so I'm just gonna go and put this one back in. Just gonna clean it up a little bit. And that's good, so yeah, we're learning lots here. So yeah, now that this one's clocked, the old one fits right in there. Everything lines up as it should. So that one goes there. This one goes there. We still had to grind a little bit on the case there, but other than that, ooh, let's not forget what I forgot last time that got to this whole situation. Let's put the screws in there. There's O-rings in there so water doesn't get in, so just put them snug. And Now we're gonna do this. Around. Just hand tighten it. Just wants to be snug. Not too tight. Okay. So Blake was like, we should test the start. And I was like, oh no, it's fine. And he's like, let's test it. You don't know if this shit actually works? And well, Blake was right. So we hooked it up. I put positive to the solenoid actuator. Nothing happened. Did negative and it worked. Big no-no. So what I'm doing now is I already did it and then I was like, oh, I have to film this. So I think what I can do is I can just take this wire here and put it over here. And that should switch the polarity from what I'm looking at. But I'm going to take the old one apart and see how this one's done and reference it. So it's literally just opposite. Okay. I wonder if it's just as simple as taking these off and switching them. I'm going to take this one apart and see. And go from there. I'm assuming this just has to go over there while not touching anything else. And if that can happen, then you switch sides. But I don't think that will work because this has to go there. So might be able to. It's a lot longer on this one over here. Well, you could take, I guess you can't take it off because fuck you. Should we place it in first with the two brushes or?
In where?
Oh, so we don't have to separate them.
That'll be fine. We'll separate them anyways.
So does that just change the...
It doesn't change nothing. It literally just changes the plate orientation.
So now this can come off. Oh, that doesn't matter. That can come off. Now this can come up, rotate there, go there.
Yeah, just like that.
And then
the only thing you gotta make sure of afterwards is that the bendix rotates in the right direction.
And then now I use the factory plate, which I cut up. Which that should be, oh, I guess now that one. So having taken the solenoid apart, I cannot do what I thought I was going to be able to do, was just, so I'm going to just clock the brushes around on the motor plate. So this is actually a fair bit more than I was expecting, but I mean, if I can spend an hour and do all this and have zero issues, it's still cheaper than $700. Okay, so now that that's back and tight, let's take these brushes off, since we know how now. So maybe what I will do is I'll go back to the original idea. I'll put this one back in here. And I'm just going to drill those two other holes and tap them. And then we will be set to what they are. I could just take these, resolder them to there, but then I feel like that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this video, because it's supposed to be easy for you guys to do, and it's turning out to be just a bit more complicated than I anticipated. Still not the end of the world, but definitely not easy. Okay, so after further checking, you guys seen we switched the brushes 180. So now I just got to take them out. I got to actually tap these two holes here that aren't tapped. So I got to pull this all apart. And then we will have to do the original casing. We just have to clock and put a hole where we did the new casing, because this is off. If I would have did it on the other side, it would have been golden. So, learning here. So yeah, so once this is on, once this is tapped, I'll have to clock this, drill another hole here, cap the old one, put it back together, and then it should be good. I hope. I hope. So it's an M4 tap, so I'm just gonna go in there. So 1/8 inch for this. Okay. No. Get one. So let's put this. I'll take this again. Cut a little bit off. Okay, no, that's there. Let me put this on again for the final time. I hope. Those screws line up perfectly, so that's really nice. Let's put it in. Cool. Now these screws go in there. That goes in there. Tightens up my hand. Whew. And there we have it. Maybe. We're gonna go test it again. Okay, so we're gonna strap this down here like this. Take our clamp and there. Do that. Now we're gonna take our positive and our negative. We're gonna put battery is now on this side, which was factory, like from the Buick. And maybe we should come down more. The body is just ground, and then for here, we'll just connect positive and negative to the battery. Nothing should happen, which is good. Okay, so now when I add positive to this one, that's how it should work. So before, when I tested it, I would actually add negative to it, and then it would actuate, and then it would, that's just wrong. So now you go add positive. It goes there. I'll show you guys underneath. And there we have it. Oh, thanks, Blake. You should test stuff, but now you guys know what to do to not screw it up. I did the hard work. There we have it. That was not as easy as I thought, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than any other option. And I was looking online, and this exact starter that I had purchased was, I think it was $485. And this one, that's US too. So it's probably like, after shipping, customs and everything, it probably ends up being like $700. Where this one, out the door, was, I don't know, they're on Rock Auto for like $140 shipped, $130 shipped. So I saved myself technically $500, $600. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm sure I could get this one rebuilt, but any motor to get rebuilt is a couple $100. So it's just easier to buy it. So yeah, hope you guys learned with me how to do it. like I mentioned, these starters come on Toyota Supras. They have the 2JZ, Dodge Dakota, 12 valve Cummins, some newer Fords, most LSs and small blocks. Any starter that if you bought a conversion to like a mini style starter, it's these. You can use them on the circle track cars, on the small block Chevy 2s. But yeah, all kinds of mode. As long as they look like this portion here, that's the Denso starter style. And that's going to be what this is. And as far as I can see and know, it's all interchangeable. The reasoning behind this is because you got to think in like a business perspective. You're going to take whatever that's already made, because it's going to take a lot of money to cast all this stuff and outsource it separately. So you're going to take what is already built that you can buy off the shelf and go, hey, I'm going to make this adapter plate. I'm going to make this adapter plate because this is a lot easier to get manufactured than this entire thing. You have to do motor, electricity, where this is just a billet aluminum plate that you can just get sand casted, which I assume these are, get a million of them made, and then just do some machining and it's done and adapted. So it's like this for most things. Most things aren't that complicated. I tend to overcomplicate things, but that's besides the fact. So next time you have a trouble or issue with something, just kind of like look in the big picture, take a step back and go, what else could these be used for? What else, like what's the biggest function? How did they adapt it? And a lot of the times there's a lot cheaper alternative. Somebody else just did all the research and all the hard work to get to that point, and that's why there's a high price on it. So if you guys like this video and want me to do more stuff like this as they come, let me know in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll post a video or a short of the Buick starting when I go install it. Right on. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and see you later.